Those who support candidate Raila Odinga are so exuberant, excited about the poll numbers, and they feel that it affirms the fact that they think he is the man that resonates with the majority of Kenyans. But the reality is that on the other side of the aisle, William Ruto's supporters, first looking at this polls suspiciously, they don't really believe that they reflect the true will of the people. They feel like those particular pollsters are biased towards them and therefore favor Raila Odinga. So they don't take it seriously, and they're talking about pulling a surprise on election day. Now, there are some that I've spoken to, including supporters of Raila Odinga, who say they're not necessarily very comfortable with that margin, the 6 points margin, because there's millions, probably hundreds of thousands or millions of Kenyans who are undecided up to this point, and anything can happen between now and Tuesday to swing some of those votes either direction. And so nobody's sitting comfortably, even despite those numbers.
Can you describe for us this strange alliance between President Kenyatta and his longtime rival, Raila Odinga? Go into, if you can, this whole history, a little bit of the 2017 vote and what happened after that.
Yes, one has to remember that the relationship between Raila Odinga has been over the decades rather confusing to those who don't know where it comes from. These are people who historically have been both friends and then at certain times foes and even enemies. At one time, actually, Raila Odinga belonged to the same party as Uhuru Kenyatta, KANU, during the Moi time when Raila Odinga crossed the lines from the opposition and joined the government. So they worked together. But what is known is that the two have been family friends from way back, from their parents' time. So they have been friends, but at the political theater, at times they have been on opposite sides. And so after 2017 election, in which, the election was nullified and Raila Odinga claimed that he had been denied in the election. Of course, that led to tensions in the country. That led to a kind of a sense of acrimony between Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta. There were things that happened that most of us are not necessarily aware that led to those two kind of coming together to reconcile, which allowed the opposition leader to actually work very closely with the president. Now, nobody has ever witnessed a situation where a sitting president skips his deputy president to endorse an opposition leader for the position of the presidency, which actually has led millions of others to be so disgruntled because they believe that he should have supported the deputy.
What about the economy with rising prices of food and fuel? Are people upset about the vast amounts of money that's being spent on this election and not even being able to know what the candidates are spending because the candidates aren't required to make public the amount of donations they're receiving or the source of those donations?
Yes, people are extremely upset about the kind of money they see being poured out there. Campaigning in Kenya, I think, has been billed as one of the most expensive anywhere in the world. The politicians spend tons of money, and some of that money comes from sources that are not clear to the people, are not known to the people.